Thank you, Anna. Thank you all the participants to this webinar, and for this opportunity that you give us to present our work from a COINS project in IPAR. We are presenting this study, which was conducted as part of the COINS project. And the aim of this study was to test the SRI, the Sustainable Rice Intensification, with farmers. And after the experiment, some lessons have learned, and the results permit us to know the impact of farmer field schools incorporating SRI on the rice production and in the Senegalese River Valley. Well, the Senegalese River Valley is located along the Senegal River in the northern part of the country, and extending in 1,800. The Senegal River covers an area of approximately 300,000 square kilometers, characterized by humid, dry, and sub-desert tropical zone. The basin covered by the Senegalese River Valley is also home to 3.5 million people who make their living from agricultural activities in the broadest sense. The average annual rainfall ranges from 200 to 600 millimeters over a period of 2 to 3 months from July to September, with a hot dry season from March to June. Let's go. This study is done in the context of land degradation in Senegal, where 34% of the land is affected, and the Senegal River Valley, one of the most important agroecological zones, is not exception. This degradation is becoming more pronounced as the pressure on natural resources, as deforestation, abandonment of fallow land, and the overgrazing, and a drastic decline in the use of the organic matter, the excessive and uncontrolled use of chemical fertilizer and the pesticides, and the sensitivity to climate change as a reduction of rainfall, the soil salinization, and the low crop yield. Furthermore, despite its important role in the food system, rice cultivation in the river valley face several constraints that reduce its economic profitability. And these include enormous amounts of water, seeds, and expensive chemical fertilizer, which reduce profitability. And the objective of this study is to present the result of the farmer field school, integrated the system of rice intensification in the Senegal River Valley, along with lessons learned on key success factor and challenges encountered. The approach used to carry out this study combines training and agroecology practice. The farmers receive on-site training in their fields using the farmer field school method, an open air school where 25 to 30 farmers observe, experiment, and learn together on a shared plot over the course of an entire growing season. Farmers have been training in SRI, an agroecological method that maximizes yields while drastically reduce input as water, seeds, and chemical inputs to promote sustainable land management and resilience of the farmer against climate change. The farmer field school approach a structured training program for producers begins with a if a fraud in investigation for the resource mapping and the careful selection of demonstration plots and participants according to their availability and their capacity to share the experience with others farmers. And after the selection, the seeds were then marked out and georeferenced prior to plowing, leveling the soil, and establishing the rice nurseries. And before transplanting, organic fertilizer was added. The maintenance is using by manual weeding and irrigation using a dry wet cycle. At the end of the cycle, the yield were measuring to evaluate the impact of SRI practices. Here are the methodology we use for the SRI practices. And for SRI, plot receive 100 kilogram of organic matter before the transplanting. And during the cycle, 10 kilogram of urea and 5 kilogram of chemical fertilizer. The urea and the chemical NPKs are the chemical fertilization. And for the transplanting, vigorous seedling aged between 12 to 20 days with one seedling per hole was used. SRI irrigation is not continuous, but alternates with a dry period and cried out when the plot is dry and the rice begins to show signs of water stress. The water depth varies between 3 and 5 centimeters, and the weeding is manual. Here is for the SRI. In contrast, for the farming practice, the transplanting seedling is 23 days in group per all. The irrigation is continuous flooding with a water depth of 15 centimeters. The farming practices didn't receive any organic matter, but 35 kilogram of urea and 10 kilogram of chemical fertilizer composite of nitrogen and phosphorus as a basal fertilizer. And the weeding is used by herbicide. Let's go some result. Here are the agronomic result. And this result, the result of this experiment shows that the average plant height in the farmer practices is greater than that in the SRI system. Nevertheless, in terms of the number of tillers per hill and yield, the SRI outperform the farmer practices. Thus, the SRI practices offer an agronomic advantage in addition to being more profitable than the traditional farming practices yield 1.6 tons per hectare more than the farming practices. Here are the results. Here are the economic results. After the measurement of the agronomic result, economist co-worker help us to evaluate the economic importance of the SRI. And this economic analysis shows that the SRI increased agriculture production and yields by 1.6 tons of rice per hectare, more than traditional farming method. Thus, SRI is more profitable because it costs the farmer less while generate a higher net profit, 938,000 francs per hectare for SRI versus 331,000 francs CFA per hectare for traditional farming practices. Thus, in terms of profit, SRI enable farmers to generate an additional profit margin of 606,500 per hectare. And the marginal rate of return is 165%. This means that for every 1,000 francs CFA invested in adopting SRI, the farmer would earn an additional 1,650 in income compared to the farmer field. Here are some benefits of SRI practices. He reduced the water requirements, savings of 125,000 francs per hectare on irrigation costs. The addition of organic matter improve the soil biological fertility and promote deep root growth and better mineral utilization. And according to Bilgo and et al., the SRI reduce nitrous oxide and methane emission. Unfortunately, even though the measurement of greenhouse gas emission was done, we haven't the data to validate this result. Here are some benefits, but we have other benefits as the cost of the chemical input and the cost of the herbicide. And beyond the project, a spontaneous adaptation was noted. Indeed, almost all participants have a solid working knowledge of SRI practices, and they are applied of SRI techniques in their routes. This result is seen when we capitalize these practices. And farmers continue to implement certain aspects of SRA as the application of organic matter, the spacing, and the row planting on their own plot. And the most interesting result for the scaling up are that farmers who are not members of the farmer field school, having simply observed SRI practices within the farmer field school, have spontaneously adopted the principles of SRI in their own fields, showing the importance of these practices and the method of the farmer field schools. Here are some key messages. To success the farmer field school on SRI practices. Members who live in the same village and are united by a sense of solidarity help ensure the success of farmer field school. The site of a healthy and productive SRI field convince neighboring farmers faster than any theory. The SRI requires careful planning and rigorous and careful mechanical labeling is essential to ensure precise control of the water depth. And the financial and ecological success of SRI depend also on local and easy access to organic matter. Some lessons have been learned and solutions identified. Prior, geographic distance demotivates producers and destroys teamwork. The solution is to select only members from the same village to simplify logistics and maintain daily engagement. A poor planning made it impossible to precisely manage the water level, which is vital for SRI. And the recommendation is to close the collaboration with irrigation district engineers to ensure that the plots are perfectly graded and mechanically prepared before transplanting. The shingling conflicts between the communal plot and individual fields, leading to delays in maintenance. This is important to promote a rotating collective work system, village solidarity, to pool resources during peak labor period. Here are some strategic recommendations for the success of the farmers field school and the scaling up of the SRI. Here, they strengthen internal governance, transparency, and accountability is important to success the SRI, and formally incorporate the farmer field school SRI into the national determined contribution on climate change. And also, we facilitate access to land and agricultural input, especially for young people and women, or for sustainable low interest financing to help farmers invest in mechanization and labor, make agricultural insurance accessible to reduce the risk associated with adopting new practices, and provide substantial funding for hydro-agricultural infrastructure adopted to the requirement of the SRI, and significantly expand the farmer field school SRI to new seats to drive true regional scaling. Thank you for your valuable care and this opportunity to give us to present our work. Thank